Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is D-Man coming back at it again with another YouTube video, and today we're going to be I'm going to do a little bit something different today, go into more IRL type stuff, so not talk about Madden, but we're going to talk about the draft and what the Titans need to do in the draft. Now, I really do hope that John Robinson isn't done just yet in free agency, because you know, he missed out on a lot of good pieces. I think we have around, let me check and make sure here, but I'm pretty sure we have around 14 mil right now. So that's a lot of money. Obviously, you got to put that, you got to put 5 mil aside for the draft, and some guys you're going to pick up here. So you're still working with around 9 million, which I think you could have gone and gotten someone. But for the free agents that are left right now, as I'm recording the video, something might happen between, me recording and this video being public. But I'm looking at wide receivers and I'm looking at cornerbacks that are still available in free agency, and the top wide receivers are not that good, guys. You're looking at T.Y. Hilton's probably the best option you've got left. Then you got Fitzgerald, who's very old. You got Golden Tate, who's old. You got Deshaun Jackson, who's old. Then you got Sammy Watkins, Adam Humphries, Marquise Goodwin, Willie Snead, and just a lot of no-name guys. So, I mean, your best bet would be T.Y. Hilton if we do end up picking up a wide receiver in free agency. And how expensive he's going to be, well, I don't know, because he was getting paid a lot these past few seasons. I think it was around, I want to make sure and check on this right quick. So don't quote me, but I want to say, well, while that's loading, I'm going to go ahead and go over to the defensive side of the ball at cornerback. Now, cornerback is a little bit different because there are some good cornerbacks still remaining in free agency. Let me check on that. I know there's Richard Sherman. So you've got, let's see here, you've got, I'm not sure why my phone is acting up. Can't get any service, but we'll just go ahead and talk about the draft while that's loading. So, let me know what y'all's best, before we start talking here, let me know your guys' best situation for the draft for the Titans. If you guys expect us to make any more moves in free agency before the draft comes around, or do you think we're finished and we're going to look to go ahead and snag a couple wide receivers and at least a cornerback, I think. So, first option, obviously we got number 22, so probably going to be starting to look 15 down in case some of these guys fall. Now, do I think Surtain's going to fall? If he falls, that would be absolutely amazing. I don't think he's going to, though, guys. I just don't think he's going to. I think we've got to get one more cornerback to help us out if we don't end up picking up a cornerback in free agency. Now, if we do, I think we go ahead and target a wide receiver in this first round. So back to the T.Y. thing. He got paid $14 million last year. Obviously, I think he's going to take a big-time pay cut because of his, regressing. His career's kind of, going toward the back end of his career. So I think he's going to get paid a lot cheaper than 14 mil, maybe around 5 to 9 million a year for 1 year next year. Wouldn't be too bad there. I just really do want a very solid 2 wide receiver, and they're pretty much all gone. Juju Smith-Schuster went. He re-signed with the Steelers for about, what was that, 9.5 mil, I believe, or was it 8 mil? I think he had offers for about 9.5 mil, and he didn't take it. He decided to stay in Pittsburgh, but he's off the board. You also had Kenny Golladay, who is way too expensive for us. And I think if we'd ended up signing Kenny Golladay, then we would have just kept Corey Davis, because Corey Davis, crazy money. Kenny Golladay, crazy money. The only other option, that I could think of would have been Juju Smith-Schuster, and he's gone. So really, the only option you got is T.Y. Hilton. I think, in my opinion, that's the only guy I'm looking at right now that I see. So, I mean, that's our only option there. So, if this is it for our free agency, and I think it is, we're gonna have to target number one priority, definitely get a number 2 wide receiver. And then I think in the next rounds, this is a very nice wide receiver class. So I think if I'm thinking about trading back, guys. So if the Titans trade back, now I don't know if any of these teams down here at 31, 30, 29 would want to trade up to 22. I just don't think that would be, really, I don't know. Because I think there's a lot of solid, like a Bateman is a very good wide receiver here listed at 31 that we could trade back and maybe, pick up a couple, one more pick than we had if we did trade back. Maybe I could get, this, 31 and a third or fourth rounder, or maybe even a second rounder if that's that important to whoever's team's right here. But maybe we just go ahead and go with Asante Samuel, or if Jaycee Horn. Where's Jaycee Horn at? Am I missing out on Jaycee Horn? All the way here at 35 too. So see, trading back wouldn't be too bad if we go ahead and pick up a corner in the first round. But like I said, I think we want to go for a wide receiver. So looking at these wide receivers here, Tony is not a bad option. Bateman's very fast. More of a, let's see. I shouldn't be scrolling up there. We don't have a shot against any of those guys. So working around here, I think Bateman's the best shot here, unless we can get Tony as well. That would be not too bad. But again, guys, y'all got to help me out here and let me know, because I don't know much about these guys. I'm kind of going off of like what I have watched online of these guys and other people's thoughts about them. So I haven't really watched. I don't watch much college football, so y'all got to help me out here in these picks. But I'm some of these guys I've watched some film on. I like some of them. I don't like some of them. But for the most part, it's a very good wide receiver class, and I think we can get whoever we want at the 22 pick. But the question is, will John Robinson be aggressive and trade back and get a couple picks? Or will he just stay where he's at and go ahead and pick up whatever wide receivers there on the board? Or if some reason Surtain falls to us, which I don't think that's going to be an option, pick him up. But again, back to the free agency cornerback thing. Again, I think there's like Richard Sherman, and that's about it. I'm sure there's a couple others, but that's the only guy that I can think of right now that's available. But if we end up picking up another corner, we got Jack Rabbit, and we got Christian Fulton, and that's about it. So I think we've got to go ahead and attack that spot on the defense, and so here are the free agent cornerbacks that are remaining: AJ Boye, Malcolm Butler, Casey Hayward, Richard Sherman, DJ Hayden, Josh Norman, Buster Screen, Jason McCourty, Brian Poole. So, and then after that, nothing really too special after those names right there. So those are the guys that are remaining. Like I said, as I'm recording this video, they could get picked up between now and when this video is public. But Sherman and Malcolm Butler's really expensive. We couldn't get that contract back, but I do want to see what his contract was. I know that freed up a lot when we released him. So his contract was 5 years, $61 million. That's pretty expensive, guys, so don't think that would be an option. But Casey Hayward, Richard Sherman, maybe pick him up for decently cheap. But I think our best bet would pick up T.Y. and go maybe, pick up T.Y. and then go after cornerback, wide receiver in the draft, and I think we'll be A-okay. Maybe even pick up a replacement for Jonnu Smith. But yeah, Asante Samuel. This is I like Surtain a lot. There's just no way he's gonna fall to us unless J-Rob gets aggressive and trades up. That's an option. But there's also the option that he trades this pick for a player. Whether that be, I've heard a lot of trade talks about Danielle Hunter, which that wouldn't make much sense now. But trade talks about, who knows, maybe a Stephon Gilmore. I think you have to give up a couple picks, but that's also an option. That's not a bad option either. I mean, I feel like we have to have Janoris Jenkins cannot be our number one corner. Now, where he was in New Orleans, he also had alongside he had can't think of his name right now, but you know who I'm talking about. Saints, very good cornerback. Let me make sure, because I don't know how I'm forgetting his name. Marshawn Lattimore. So you got, Jack Rabbit paired up with Marshawn Lattimore. He's a very solid 2. I don't think he's going to be very good at, at the number 1 corner. So I think we got to go after someone in the draft, or we got to pick someone up that's a very solid one, your number 1 cornerback. We could trade this pick. Y'all just had to let me know, because I don't know much. But just let me know. Help me out here in the comments down below, because I'm very, very upset in how J-Rob handled this offseason. Now, Bud Dupree was a good pickup. Danico Autry was a good pickup. I think we got a hell of a lot better on the defensive side of the ball, but the offensive side of the ball needs some work. Again, last year, the big problem was pass rush. We definitely fixed that this offseason by signing Bud Dupree, by picking up or signing Danico Autry. And that's going to help out Kevin Byard and also Amani Hooker, who I think is going to be the strong safety this year, filling in that role for Kenny Vaccaro. And also, whatever cornerback we have is going to be, he just goes. With the pass rush coming in, it's not going to be as hard on the cornerbacks this year to do their job, because we're going to get pressure, and hopefully when we get pressure, that's how we're going to cause picks. We just need pressure. The reason that Kevin Byard and Kenny Vaccaro did not play well last year is we had no pressure. The year before that, they had a phenomenal season. Kevin Byard, one of the top safeties in the league. And the reason was because we had pressure. We just got pressure. Last year, we didn't have pressure, and that's why they played bad. So when we bring in pressure, hopefully we can, our corners and safeties will get back up to what they were playing a couple years ago. But like I said, the offense definitely went, regressed with Jonnu leaving, with Corey leaving, because that's a 1,000-yard wide receiver there in Corey, and a very good run blocking guy as well in Corey. Also, Jonnu Smith, another very solid run block, type dude that can get the job done there, and also is a vertical threat, can get you in third downs, can get you pretty deep. I mean, the dude was great, but I think we have 2 tight ends that do the same thing that Jonnu did, but the packages are going to be a little bit different, because what Jonnu could do in multiple package, we might have to split up with Swaim and Ferkser, because Ferkser is more of that third down. He's money on third down vertical threat versus he can't really. He's not a good run blocker, but Swaim is more of that good run blocker, and is really, that's what his main thing is run blocking. But he did catch a couple passes last year, which was pretty nice. But again, Jonnu did that. He was one dude, and he could do both of those things. So that's the one thing that is bad about that. But like I said, go after a wide receiver first round. Unless you trade back, maybe go wide receiver corner then. Maybe you just go wide receiver corner, and then maybe replace Jonnu. But I feel okay with Ferkser filling in for him. So with that being said, again, y'all gotta help me out here. Don't watch much of college football, so y'all gotta let me know the guys that could possibly fall to us, some guys that you guys like. And yeah, with that being said, that is gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and until next time, I'll see y'all.